Internet. Welcome back to Fantasy Knits, a traveling knitter. I am the host. I hate saying it like that. My name is Steph and I am coming to you from the United States, specifically Ohio. I have quite the haul because Rhinebeck. So I talked about in my last video that I was going to Rhinebeck and then that it would upload while I was there, and I had some technical difficulties and it stopped uploading, and I guess it failed to upload. So when I came back, I had to start all over again, and as I maybe mentioned, it takes legit 60 hours to upload a video with my internet. So I was finally updated it, so we'll find out with this one how long it takes and if it did anything by getting the fastest internet possible, which was it was only like $10 more, so whatever. I have a side story about the internet thing, but I guess first off, let's talk about what I'm wearing. Should I take it off? I guess so. This is, and I have show notes, I wrote it down. This is Nurmalintu, maybe not pronouncing it correctly, by Heidi Allender or Allender. And this is a asymmetrical triangle shawl, and I knit it out of Manos del Uruguay Fino. And I don't know what colorway this is. Yeah, I really don't know. In my mind, I always called this Taxi Beep Beep because I bought this in New York City in Pearl Soho. I was just in Pearl Soho when I went to Rhinebeck. I don't think they carry Manos del Uruguay anymore. So I got this 2015 maybe? On Valentine's Day, because I was staying in New York. I was actually staying on Long Island, and I went into the city. There was a lot of snow. It was very cold, but I decided to have a date with America, and I went to the 9/11 museum and memorial, and of course Pearl Soho, and I had dinner across the street. I think there was like a pub that had really good pizza. So yeah, this Nurmalintu, it's beautiful. Oddly enough, this is my most worn shawl. I thought it would be my pure joy. I thought it'd be oh my god. I thought it would be pure joy, but for some reason I love this yellow color, and it goes with a lot of what I wear, so I'm a big fan. And this is so soft. I remember Fino, I think it was like 30 bucks or something, and it was, at the time, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is pretty expensive, but it was so worth it. So it's got, as I keep doing this, the ends are super ridiculously long. So you start here with this little tabby thing, and then you essentially knit on the bias, because if you look at it, maybe you can see it. I'm holding it up. Yeah, perfect. I'm holding it up, and the rows are straight. So you knit on the bias, and then you get to this lace pattern, which is super easy, and it looks great on camera, probably because I'm wearing a dark color. But it's picking up really nicely. I don't think I made any mistakes. On camera, they kind of look like triangles. In person, they definitely look a little bit more flowery. So then you knit some more, you do the lace repeat again, knit some more, lace repeat. And I think maybe you ended there. I can't remember, but I kept on. I think I either added more or decreased. I don't remember, but I did do something different. I did not follow the pattern exactly. So the way that I wear this is, so see how, again, this side's much longer. I wear it pretty much evenly, and then when I wrap it around, so see this one's much shorter and this one's longer, I then tie it. because in my mind, I think it looks adorable. So I tie it, and then I pull this guy out, pull my hair out, and bam. And I don't mind this sticking out. I think it looks really cute. So this is pretty much how I wear it. And that is how I was wearing it at the beginning of the podcast. So, yep. If you care to know the rest of this outfit, I did not make it. It is a dress from Forever 21. On to my completed quests. I'm so excited about this, you guys. What? Yeah, they're not the socks that well, they're not the socks you may have thought that I finished. I frogged those. Nothing to do with the pattern, not at all. I'm restarting them, but I frogged them, and then it was like the last week of October, and I was like, no point in starting these. So I was like, let's just finish these guys. And I did! Woohoo! And look at this little thing. Yep. You know what this means. I did a for real afterthought heel. So I followed the video that everyone recommends, which is the Kirby Werby video on YouTube. So I followed that, and it was super, super easy. Now, the actual picking up the stitches was kind of a nightmare because it was in my black stripe. Originally, I had wanted to do it here, but the more I looked at it, I was like, boy, that's gonna make my foot super short. I think I could have done it there and it would have been fine. With the heel here, it's okay, but I definitely I could pull it up. Which, oddly enough, with a lot of my store-bought socks, the toe, like this toe part, I always have up by my ankle. Yeah, I have like relatively wide feet and a high arch, but they're pretty short. So like if I'm wearing like certain heels, I can literally go down to a size 5 or 5.5. With normal, like, and that depends on, again, this, so if these, my fingers were my toes, depends on this piece right here. My foot is pretty short, but because of how wide it is and how high the arch is, I typically wear size 7 and 7.5 because I need I need it to fit my foot. So even though I wear a size 7, 7.5, there's always space up in the toe. So what that essentially means is my socks, even the one size fits all socks, the heels, they end up being on my ankle. So I wear through my socks really quickly because my heel is not in the like sturdy heel spot. Anyway, so I thought it looked like super short, so I went with the middle of the black, but I could have done it further up here. Gosh, trying to pick up the black was so straining on my eyes. I didn't think it was going to be this bad, but this lamp right here, I may have mentioned before, it's new, it's beautiful, does not emit as much light as I want. Super excited to do the afterthought heel. Once I cut it in, it was super easy and it looks seamless. And this brown color is, I'm pretty sure it's Knit Stroll in some sort of brown color. The stripe is Turtle Pearl Yarns in her turtle toes. Where's the tag? Yeah, in her striped turtle toes. So you get 2 skeins that are perfectly matchy, and it is her 7525 Superwash Merino nylon, 450 yards, 100 grams, and it is in her trench coat colorway. And this is the tag, which is not going to fit on the screen. And I bought this on Etsy, and I also purchased 2 other. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a terrible podcast if I can't talk. I purchased 2 other colorways from Turtle Pearl. I really liked this yarn, and I did get quite a lot of compliments. My coworkers, they know that I knit. I talk about the generic coworkers all the time, and they were so amazed. This is the first time they saw like definitive striping, and they're like, how do you do that? And I'm like, it comes like this. I don't put all these stripes in there. No, I will never do that. So I knit these on my 9-inch circulars. They're my Hiya Sharps 9-inch circs size 1. I don't know if it's because I knit them on the 9-inch circulars and then cut in my heel, but finding the sides for the heels was very difficult because I don't know if you can see that. See how there's like, this comes right to the edge, this has like some stitches here? My knitting shifts. So I followed the side, like the side seam line down on both sides, and this side seam ends up back here. So I try to fix it by, you know, folding it in half in the correct spot, but my sock doesn't want to sit like that because then it makes my toe all the decreases on this side, and then this side the decreases are all on the back. So that's how it makes, and like, it's this, the seam is right there. It's just, the knitting shifted. And it did it on both socks. So clearly it's the way that I knit, and I think it's because of the 9-inch circs, but knitting on them is just so much faster. So I think I can live with the fact that my knitting shifts when I do that, but it is still a little bit annoying. I'm pretty excited about these. They just look so awesome. And I kind of wish I had knit them longer. As I was knitting, and I was thinking, oh, I should probably get to the toe, I was like, these are going to be super tall socks. No, they're the same height as all my other ones. It's funny how knitting a tube can be misleading. Like, your eye just thinks, wow, these are going to be super long, I need to stop soon. And then you do stop and you put in the heel and you realize, nope, those are not any longer than the other ones. What is, oh, it's like, what the heck, this is, there we go. So that is my completed quest, and that puts me up to 7 socks total. So I need to finish 5 socks in the span of 2 months. Is that gonna happen? No, it's not. Which makes me sad because I really did want to have a complete box of socks, and I think next year I'm not going to participate in the box of socks because I found that knitting the socks has cut out like all my other knitting. I have too many hobbies. I think I mention this constantly, but I just have too many hobbies to be able to spit out that much knitting. Alright, so current quests, things that I am currently working on. The Clark Socks by Jacqueline Salem. I've cast these on 2 times, 3 times? 3 times? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So I've cast these on 4 times, and these are the ones. This is the one that I'm not going to have to recast on other than the other toe. Other than the other sock. And you've already seen this colorway. I will hold it up again. This is the Toad Hollow yarns in their Drusilla base in the Warrior Princess colorway. And their Drusilla base is 80/20, 2-ply, 400 yards. It's got a really pretty dusty purple, gold, browns, and grays. I'm such a big fan of this colorway. This is what I've got so far. I'm knitting it on my Chow Goose red lace, and I just did, so I can show the other side. I just started, or just completed, the setup row. Come on, focus. So I just did all the ribs, and I am at the setup row, so I'm ready to start the cabling and going up the leg, which is further than I got on any of the other socks, or versions of the sock. The yarn tag looks like this. And yeah, so that is trucking along really nicely. I might just leave those at home. But again, just like I always say, my goal is to get these done in November. Will it happen? Probably not, because my track record on all other monthly knitting socks have been atrocious. Oh well. This is in the very first bag that I ever sewed. I think I've mentioned the story about the hot glue gun, but I'm actually pretty proud of it because, again, it was the first thing I ever sewed without a tutorial or anything. Didn't pay attention that the birds were going to be sideways, but you'll live and you'll learn. I actually kind of like that I did the pattern swap, so like, yeah, I think that's cute. The next project I want to talk about is my grandma's Christmas gift. It is in my brand new Sugar Tots bag that I talked about last time. It's super padded, feels like a pillow. The shawl in a ball is a yarn from Lion brand. It is 58% cotton, 39% acrylic, and 3% other fiber. I think I gave them shit about that last time. Why would you write other fiber? Like, please just be specific. That sounds so stupid. It is 518 yards. This is the ball band. I think we are probably all familiar with what Lion brand looks like. Oh, and the colorway is called Community Coral. I don't see any coral, and I really haven't gotten any far because same with this guy. I cast on something, I messed up, and rather than figuring out where I messed up, I just frogged the whole thing and went with a different shawl. So there's the baby shawl. I thought about doing another Nurmalintu, but this one is very, very similar. I'm actually not enjoying the increases, so I might just frog this one again. This is, I did not write this one down because I was going to go look it up before, but I didn't. This is supposed to be turning into Touchstone by Fogbound Knits. It is a free pattern on Ravelry. Like I said, it's very similar construction as Nurmalintu, this guy, but it's got a ladder lace instead, so it's easier than this one. But I'm not a fan of the way the increases work. So the increases are a yarn over immediately. So with mine, it's making these giant loops on the side. Can you see the loops? There we go. Yeah, like that loop right there. So I'm not a fan of the way the yarn overs on the side are working. I actually really hate it. So I'm probably gonna frog this as well, and maybe I'll just knit a Nurmalintu again, because I genuinely enjoyed it. Yep, I'm gonna do it. Frogged. Maybe that's a thing I should do. I should just frog something on every single podcast. No, I'd never get anywhere. So, okay, it's been frogged. This is no longer a current quest. I think I'm just definitely gonna just cast on another Nurmalintu. And now my yarn is in tangles. There. Okay. That was easy. There's a reason why I didn't write it in my show notes, because I knew it wasn't meant to be. These are, I picked up these from my bedroom floor, and instead of putting them away, I put them to use. These are, I'm pretty sure it's 5mm. It's somewhere on here. It's normally in gray. There we go. Yeah, 5mm. The cable is crap, but these are some sort of needles that my mom got in Germany, like probably before I was born, or maybe right when I was born. So I used to love them, but now that I knit with other needles, the tips are really dull and the cable is really annoying. So these are actually some pretty terrible needles, but I'm knitting with them. I might just give them back to my mom. No offense to the needles, but they do make it very irritating to knit. To start out with only a couple stitches. They're super, super slippery. My last quest is an old one. When did I start this? I started this in the spring. I don't remember. But it is The Miller's Daughter by Melanie Burke. So it is supposed to be 3-color shawl. I've turned it into a 2-color because my lace has so much yardage. So I figured I would just use that. So this is what it looks like so far. It may look just like what it looked like before, but that's not the case. I finished this section right here, and I just started the lace. So back when I was knitting on this and I held up the lace section, I was like, this just looks like a mess. It is a mess. I looked at the pattern and it's not supposed to look like that at all. So I don't know where I messed up. Like, some sections do look okay, but then it messes up again. So I don't know where I messed up, and I am not ripping back. Like, ripping these stripes is a nightmare because the orange one, which again, I don't know what it is. The orange one is a single ply, so it's kind of sticky. And then of course the Hedgehog Fibers, which is merino lace in Genie, it's like almost cobweb, so it just knots really easily. So ripping back is not a friendly option. But you know what, it's the smallest lace section, maybe no one will, honestly, who's gonna care? It's barely there. But I will definitely knit this one better. And I think it's because I was doing this from my phone instead of a printed copy, so I'd always have to like turn it on and look at it, and I'd have to move the screen to be able to see the whole thing. So I think I'll do better with the lace section. Plus I won't be traveling, so I'll just do this at home. I'm really, really excited for this. It's very soft. I think the lace will look really good when I get it down correctly, and I'm excited for this. I'm definitely wanting to cast on a different or another shawl for myself, but I kind of made that rule where I don't want to have multiples of the same project. So the shawl for my grandma is for Christmas, so this is Christmas knitting, so it doesn't count. I have one pair of socks, Jenny, who I'm not going to talk about, but she's over there. So one sweater and one shawl. This is in the Minnie Mouse bag that I made, and my friend even, like, out of the blue, I don't know what we were talking, I think we were talking about my sewing, because I was wanting to sew my Halloween costume, which I half sewed. I sewed the cape, not the dress. But she like randomly goes, yeah, I really like that Minnie Mouse bag that you made. Maybe she wants a bag for Christmas. I can totally make her one. So yeah, pretty proud. Funny enough that my best bag is the one that I made under the supervision of a sewing instructor. These are also on Xiaogu red lace needles. I want to say they are size 3. I'm pretty sure they're size 3 because I remember emergency ordering these because I wanted to cast this on, and look how far I am now. Get those tucked in. And this has more of a thin canvasy feel. So those are the things I'm currently working on knitting wise. I do want to quickly talk about my other Christmas gift for my grandma. So I want to finish this for her and then that shawl. This is American Heritage Celebrate Your State, Texas. It's a kit from Creative Keepsakes, 1987, Betty Haddad or Haddad Shelton. So it looks like this, and I am this far, and I do have a couple frustrations to talk to you about. So I'm pretty far. Yes, I had to cross stitch white, which was a pain in the ass to cross stitch white, especially with that not so bright light over there. I actually cheated and put my studio lights up to see it a little bit easier. But even then, I mean, I have to get pretty close. I think I'm gonna buy an OT light, maybe for this end table over here. So I got pretty far. I have that like squiggly spot in the up here. This is gonna be a bird, so I have that to do, and then this is gonna come be a yellow flower. The armadillo needs some back stitching. There is a cowboy hat where this red blob is, and then is there something over here? Oh yeah, another flower goes right here. So complaints. There are a lot of half stitches. This is the first time I've ever done more than like 1 or 2 half stitches on a project, and coupled with the fact that this pattern, I'm probably not allowed to show you, but this pattern is, it almost is like free form, so everything is not in the same spot. So like here, the best way to show you is look at this flag. Come on, focus. Right? Like, you can see the white space, it's not evenly marked. So looking at this from far away is pretty frustrating. So very kind of along the same lines with the back stitching, it'll be a simple 1/2 or 2/, I don't know which way's which, but it'll be 1/2 up, and the line will kind of curve, but it'll meet at those 2 points, but the actual line between them isn't straight. So that's frustrating because I can't make my stitching do that. It's definitely stitching in the middle, which just, that's like unnecessary headache to just willy-nilly stitch all over the Ada, when if you scoot it over just a smidge, you wouldn't have to stitch willy-nilly all over the Ada. So it's kind of annoying. I mean, really, it's 30 years, no, it's 40 years old. Yeah. It's a 40-year-old pattern. So, whatever. But, would I stitch this again? Absolutely not. This is not fun to stitch. Not fun at all. Also, on top of that, I don't know if it came like this, because I think I mentioned I got this in a garage, or my mom got this for me in a garage sale. All the threads came together kind of already tied up. There are 4 different blues in here. One's called navy, one's called royal blue. Royal blue and navy are kind of the same color. So that's been really frustrating. I have to hold all the blues together and then in my mind decide, and then I have to stitch every single color of the blue so that I don't accidentally pick the wrong one up. Especially because like the red, I'm essentially out. I've essentially run out of the red. Same with the gray, I ran out of the gray. So luckily I had I had maybe this much left of one strand. So they really, it's not that they skimp, but it's like they measured. So they knew how much you would need. So this hasn't been super fun to stitch. I probably have, if I spend another day stitching this, I can get this done. It's taking so much longer than I thought because of all of the half stitches and the trying to judge what the color is. So I was thinking, oh, I should get Ohio. No. Nope, 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 nope. I'm not getting Ohio. Because this is not fun at all. So I'll be happy when that's done. And I will, now that I've completely bashed this pattern, does anyone want it? If you want this the state of Texas American Heritage Series from Creative Keepsakes that is 40 years old, let me know. Oh, and I guess the half stitches are called 3/4. So, pardon. I'm not an avid cross stitcher. I do not know all the terms. But let me know if you would like this pattern after I'm done, because I will be more than willing to pass it on. It's already folded. I'll be honest, I will probably fold it again and just stick it into an envelope. But yeah, let me know if you would like it. If you do, just comment below and I will give it to the first person that responds. So yeah, that guy, can't wait for that to be done. Oh, and the thread came out. So yep, that should be done by the next podcast, and hopefully I will have put it into a frame. Now is a good time to take a little tea break. I have my tea that I've been drinking all day, so the actual tea is pretty diluted, but I think I've mentioned before, I actually really like diluted teas. Like, I like to still be able to taste water. I'm probably the only person who likes that. My tea is David's Tea, the Macintosh apple, I believe, or honeysuckle apple? I think so. It came in their best of 2016, and I am using my Christmas tea strainer. I use it all year round. It's not because it's near Christmas. I legit use it all year round. I have Titanic. I have two, Titanic here and a Titanic at work. I have to say I like the metal ones the best. I think it's because the mesh is thinner than the plastic holes that my Titanic has. So this mug is probably my absolute favorite mug that I own. It is Disney World. It's Cinderella's castle. And it doesn't repeat itself, which I love. So it's got a bunch of turrets. And it has the brick at the... I'm like worried I'm about to tip my tea over. And the handle is super ornate. Ooh. And then we're back to the front. Absolute favorite. I got this at Disney World. When did we go? Senior year of college. So 2000... No, not senior year. No. We went when I was it 2015? 2014? I was working already because we went and I had to sit through a terrible timeshare meeting by myself. It wasn't that I couldn't say no because I couldn't afford any of that. It was because I was so tired. So tired. We left my apartment, I think we left like we left around noon or something, because I think I worked, maybe. Either way, or maybe it was at 5. We drove through the night. We didn't end up getting there until 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:30, something like that. And then my timeshare meeting thing was at 8. So yeah, I got just about no sleep. I can't really sleep in cars. So about no sleep, and then did the stupid timeshare thing, came back and it was like 11 o'clock, almost noon. I kind of wanted to take a nap still, but everyone was up, so we kept going and I crashed hard. I had a terrible headache, but whatever. That's because then I did a very dangerous thing that I'm not going to talk about. Nothing illegal, just dangerous to me as a single woman. That's so ominous. But I'm not going to talk about it. Alright, so that is my tea. Oh yes, and I brought little cookies because it is Christmas time. Sorry, I'm not sorry for all those people who are like, no, it's Thanksgiving time. I hate Thanksgiving as a holiday. Don't like it. Again, I'll talk about that later. But these little cookies are a huge favorite. It's odd because I don't like cinnamon spice things, but I love these. These guys come in like different shapes. So this is a windmill thing. This might be a tiger. This one is a swan. These are Spekulatia or Spekulatius. It is a German cookie. It's German to me because I ate them growing up and we get them at Aldi. So they come out around the holiday season along with Lebkuchen, which I do not like. It's this weird fruitcake. It's like a loaf, and then it has white, I think it's powdered sugar, like completely covering the top. No, not a fan. My Opa likes it. My Opa likes it and my mom like them, but I do not like it. All right, the moment you may or may not have been waiting for. The Rhinebeck haul. Because yes, it's a haul. It's a massive, ridiculous, excessive haul. I had been saving my money for Rhinebeck I started back in February. So almost 8 months. And I was like, you know what? This is the treat to myself for being very stressed with work, with all the traveling that I was doing, the hours that I was working. I mean, I think to an average person working 50 hours a week probably, may not seem like that much, but I was working 50 hours a week dealing with people who hated me and traveling and living in hotels. So, I mean, it's a lot. Like, I think people who don't do that can't really relate to it. So I'll just start my Rhinebeck stories. So for, people who travel and you kind of talk about how, uncomfortable the bed is, or how you're in a different city, so maybe your sleep pattern isn't quite there, or your bathroom schedule isn't quite there. Think about doing that for 4 years. 4 years every week. That was my life. So I am so happy to be off the road. I still travel, just not to the grueling extent that I was traveling. And it was definitely affecting my health, which is kind of why I started this podcast, to do something fun, be happy, because I'm genuinely a happy person. And my job was making me not happy to the point that it was really affecting me. So, again, kind of going back to the Rhinebeck thing, I've been saving my money to spend at Rhinebeck, and boy oh boy did I spend it, because the day before I left, I found that I had been nominated and won our Employee of the Month award, and it comes with a bonus. So, on top of the fact that I had just saved a whole bunch of money, I was like, oh my gosh, a bonus? Typically I don't take bonuses and such and go, oh look, I have X amount of dollars, let me go buy something. No, it just goes into the general fund of me saving up money to pay off my college debt, which I'm getting really close. So, okay, so I got to New York City with my best friend and my mom on Thursday. So we got there Thursday and we had a couple things planned. So we went and saw Anastasia, which was awesome. I loved it. I love musicals. I love shows. I wish I could go see more, but either way, it was really good. My only complaint, and it's not really a complaint, it's more of just, I don't know, it's not a complaint, it's just watching Anastasia the whole time, I was just thinking, that's not how it happens, that's not how it happened at all. That's, the Bolsheviks revolution was just so much bloodier than what they were portraying. And I know they were basing it off the movie, and the movie takes a what-if scenario, but I think some people are still, I don't want to say they're misled, but they found Anastasia's body, okay? They I don't know if they DNA tested, but they did I think they DNA tested the bones. And they came out with like 99.9% positive that it's Anastasia. So it's just a fantasy that we want her to be alive, to survive this massively brutal murder of her entire immediate family. So watching the musical, although it was beautiful and really entertaining, and made me want to watch the made me want to watch the animated version of it, and they did have really nice songs and the ones from the movie, it was still, like, I was left feeling very sad for what Russia lost in a royal family. And I know, like, I don't know, but, you know, revolutions happen for a reason, because the general populace or the people or whoever are unhappy. So they were unhappy with the royal family. I've read a couple books about the royal family, and yes, they were unhappy and they felt it would be better without a royal family, but it's still really sad that you have to go and murder everybody. This is a knitting podcast, but it's also a history lesson. The first thing that we did, knitting related, was go to Pearl Soho. Again, like I mentioned, I've been to Pearl Soho before on Valentine's Day, but my mom and my best friend had not. Side note, benefit to traveling, I've gone to a lot of yarn stores. So while we were there, might as well start the spending off, I purchased 3 skeins of their 100% merino wool 900. It's not 900 yards, it is 494 yards. And I bought 2 in the wheat flower colorway, and then another one in the kiln red, which is like a clay. This was one of my favorite crayons to use in the Crayola 94 crayon pack, because the brick red color, it colored so nicely. I saw a pattern, I can't remember what it is, but when I go through Pearl Soho's patterns, I will remember and I'll know which one I bought this yarn for. But clearly it is a 2-color cowl. It's a cowl. Yep, so I got these 3, and I'm pretty excited about these, and I'm probably going to be repeating myself and saying that I'm really excited for these, because I'm excited for all of it. I'm not sure where to put it. Everything is currently in a box that was shipped to me from Amazon. So it's probably just going to get piled up here and be a complete mess, and then I'll try to put it back in the box again. I'm not going to pull these out in order. We did go to Rhinebeck for Saturday and Sunday, and I bought yarn both days, and I'm not going to pull them out in order because I can't remember. Okay. So one place we went to was called Angora Online. Their labels are really simplistic. This is their hand-dyed sock yarn in superwash merino, 80/20, 400 yards. And I love the colors. So it's on a kind of oatmeal neutral color as the base, and it has black, but it's kind of purple. Like the black I think might be purple. So it's a super deep, and you've got orange flecks in there, and that's basically it. It's like the black that is kind of purple and the orange, which gets pretty dark. And so I got this, and to match it, I purchased this mini set, and it is 75/25, so it's not the same as this one. And it's 90 yards each, so it's 450 yards total fingering weight. And they are plied differently. So this looks to be 4-ply, and this is 2-ply. 2-ply, 4-ply. I thought the colors would look really great together. There was a different mini kit that I liked better, but it was DK, and I was not gonna go mixing fingering and DK together. I'm currently mixing weights with my miller's daughter, and it is not fun because it's just, no. So I wanted to stay the same. I think this is going to be really pretty. I'm not quite sure. It's going to be a shawl, most likely, but I'm not sure exactly which shawl, and I don't think I'll incorporate all the colors. I was thinking more along the lines of some of these are going to look great, and then I can use others for heels, toes, and cuffs. I also purchased another Sienna yarn from the same dyer, and this is, again, her 80/20. Angora Online is the company, and they've got their really simple orange labels, which, you know what? They probably just printed this here themselves. This does not cost any more money, which means the yarn did not cost me more money. And this color, I really fell in love with it. So it looks very green on camera, and I think it's because the normal one too is yellow, so it doesn't look the same, but it's definitely a green undertone, but I would, if this was out somewhere, I would say this is a yellow or a citron, something like that. So yeah, I got this guy, and I'm debating on combining it with this. So this is from Hudson Valley Sheep and Wool Company, which is in Red Hook, New York. I guess I could say, can I say where that's from? No. So I'm guessing this is local, but I don't know because it does not say on the tags. This is local, and you can go onto their website, which is Hudson Valley Sheep and Wool Co.com. Like I said, Red Hook, New York. And this is in, this is the colorway Nahalem. Don't really know what that means or what it's referencing, but it is in 80-10-10, so 80% merino, 10 cashmere, 10 nylon, and it is 460 yards. So I'm not sure if I'm going to combine, but I thought they might look good together, or I'll just keep this all on its own and make really nice socks or a lovely shawl, something. Next up, I bought a sweaters quantity of yarn. This is from Cozy Color Works, which I believe they changed their name because my mom overheard some other people talking about them and saying they couldn't find them because they had a different name. And I think they used to be Crazy Bunny Works or something. So it is these. Ooh, look how nice. You're wondering, wow, you only bought 3 skeins? Okay, so one skein is 550 yards. That's pretty good for fingering weight. And it's, yeah. I was like, is there a colorway? Yes, it's on the back. So the colorway is Brick. It is I keep wanting to say dusty, but it's a dusty coral. And the flecks make it look like it's tweed. When I picked it up, I thought it was tweed, but it's not. It's a flecks of just a darker color. It might be the same color that the yarn was dyed in, but more concentrated into flecks. I could be wrong, but it's in the same color family. So yeah, I'm super pumped about these, and like I said, this is going to be a sweater, either a pullover or a cardigan. I'm not sure yet, but that is what I purchased this for. That is the intention of this. Whew. Okay, yes, and then okay. All right, so I had a goal of getting sweater quantities of yarn this time, and I mean, I did a really good job. So I also got yarn from Avalon Spring Farms, and I believe the dyer, because her name is right here, is Karen Schlossberg, and this is her Pendragon yarn, 100% superwash merino in the Scots Song colorway, and it is 575 yards. It's It's coming off turquoise. It's mint. It's mint. And I picked it up, looked at it, put it back down, and I was like, nah, I don't need it. And then my mom goes, it's on sale. It's $10 off. And I'm like, oh, I need it now. So instead of $40, it was $30 and 575 yards. Yeah. So to partner with this, because I'm planning to make this a cardigan, and I was like, oh, I want gray to be with it. I also purchased this from O Wool, and it is their O Wash fingering in the schist. That's not schist. What's a weird name? I don't know what schist means. Maybe I'll look it up. Hold please. So it's not a word in English. It is a, what is that? Is that Danish? I think.
Whist.
Whew, that is not how I pronounced it. Whist. Finnish. Or did I just make that up? Russian? That's not the Russian flag. Either way, it's not English, but the translation means great. So that is this guy. It's made in Maine. This one doesn't say, but there is a picture of a sheepy. Oh wait, Mount Airy, Maryland. Oh no, it's coming undone. Stick that back in. I thought these two would look super nice together, and the O Wool fingering is 100% machine washable, certified organic merino, 428 yards. Yeah. So between the two, I've got 1,000. So I might combo like a darker gray as well, but this is going to be another, I think, cardigan. To tag team the O Wool, I also purchased these three with a plan in mind. Did I mention my coworkers are having babies? There are 4 having babies. 2 of them I'm not close to, so I'm not gonna knit their babies a sweater. But the other 2 I am close to. So I figured these colors just look really good together, and it could be for a girl or a boy. So this one right here is Pawpaw, which is probably after the, is it a fruit or a vegetable? Athens, Ohio has a Pawpaw festival, so I know it is food. This top one is called Feldspar, and the green is Fowler's Toad. I'm thinking I might, so I showed in my books that really cable-y sweater. I think having 3 colors is going to be too complicated in a cable-y sweater. Like, it'll look too crazy. So I'm thinking of going the easy peasy route and knitting the, it's by Tin Can Knits. It's not the Gramps, it's the other one. What is it? I'm gonna know as soon as as I'm editing this, I'm gonna know. It's the one that has the garter on the sleeve detail, or the garter detail on the sleeves. So I was thinking of doing like this as a main color, and then this green as a main color so one sweater, and you know, have the others in there, but more of this yellowy color in both, because I think that looks good together, that looks good together, and all 3 of them look great together. Other things that I have purchased, because believe me, we are not even halfway done. I told you I went a little psychotic. I stumbled into the yarn shop at Foster Sheep Farm, and their website is fostersheepfarm.com. It's hand dyed by Carol, as it says on the tag. Does not say where. 100% made in America on our Northumberland base, which is an 80/20. I purchased these 2 because I thought they would look great as a shawl. This is blues, grays, and mint color or seafoam. And I don't know, I think I was like, oh, I should get a black. But then, you know, a white's probably going to look really nice with that too. So I decided to go with a neutral instead. A neutral, black's a neutral as well. A natural white color instead. I did not come away with a lot of like single skein fingering without a purpose, but I did buy 4. 2 from Primrose Yarn Company, and that is these 2 right here. Primrose Yarn Company label looks like this if you've not seen it before. It's super cool. It's like an old school flower. There used to be, I remember there being a TV show with flowers that kind of looked like this. Was that real? Or did I just dream it? I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna put it in the footnotes, or maybe I'll put it down below. But I feel like there was a cartoon with flowers. So this is When Legos Attack, which I was told while I was there is what you supposedly see when you step on Legos because it is one of the worst pains ever. And I really like it. It's on a like taupey gray with blue and bright green. Really like this. And some of the speckles have like yellow and purple or red. I think it might be because the blue breaks, maybe, unless she really does put those speckles on there because it's very, very faint. So big fan of this one. And then this one, which is mint with blue and purple red speckles in it. This is the Teen Spirit. These are both her Adelaide base, which is a single ply 100% superwash merino, 435 yards. And she hails from York, Pennsylvania. And then I saw this booth. It was so brightly colored. I mean, all their skeins were like, wow, in your face crazy. And these were both in this booth. So I don't know like why they were both, oh, weird fluff. I don't know why they were both there. But this right here is Schweitzer's Fiber Mill Limited Liability Corporation. And you can get to their website, schweizersfibermill.com. I will hold the tag up because you may not know how to spell that. It's cool. It's got a little sheepy. This is the Superwash Merino 100% 410 yards. And there is no colorway, which is too bad. Look how awesome this is. It's like blues and purples again, but it gets like super psychedelically bright up here. It's awesome. And then there's this patch of sky blue, royal blue right there. And then I have this one, which is Lily's Rainbow Yarns, also from Schweitzer's Fiber Mill. So maybe it's just different dyers because it's the same base, 410 yards, 100% superwash merino. And this is, I mean, highlighter pink, highlighter orange. I love this burnt color. And then a bit pale here. There's like a little splotch of highlighter yellow at the tip and some purple. This looks awesome. Okay, let's talk these 2 things. So I did purchase 2 bags. I found this adorable little bento bag. It's by Aunt Ninny, handmade in Gardner, New York. Ninny Knits, so N-Y-N-N-N-Y. N-I-N-N-Y knits@gmail.com. It is in this adorable bird print. Bottom has polka dots, and so does the inside. Like I said, it's a bento, so you've got this shorter one, longer one goes through, and you have it like that. So really cute. I've never had a bag this style before, so I saw it and I thought it was adorable, and why not? I also purchased, so I bought that the first day, and then this bag I bought the second day, and this is awesome. Look at that print. It is a garden print, It's got little garden gnomes and a cat. Really pretty flowers. The inside has more gnomes, and there's a pocket. I love the gnome fishing. And the zipper pull is a little sheepy. So really pleased, like really excited about this. And this is You Sew and Sew. Will this focus? Probably not. It like wants to focus on everything else. I'm not even gonna try. So yeah, I really like this bag. I bought one, and I believe my best friend bought one as well. Different pattern. Okay, we're kind of getting down to the end. Well, sort of. I also purchased 3 skeins from the Periwinkle Sheep Watercolors 2 collection in Speckles number 3, Thunderstorm, and Elderberry. And you can get to their website, periwinkleSheep.com. And this is 100% superwash merino, 400 yards, made in South America, dyed in Albany, New York, which I've been to. This is going to be a 3-color shawl. What exactly, I don't know, but these guys are perfect together. So clearly purple, blue, and then the middle has purple and blue speckles and black, and there is a spot of green. I did hold up green to this as well, but I went with the purple and blue. Okay. So I'm starting a new little tradition. I'm gonna have a Christmas tree in my cube, and I'm only gonna put handmade ornaments. So I found this adorable gray sheep. Well, he's like a brown taupey gray, but he's so soft. So soft, adorable. I love him. So he's gonna go on my tree in my cube. Then as if I'm talking about these in order, we also saw Into the World, and I was super excited, and I had to contain myself because it was essentially one of the last booths we went to, and I really was about at the end of my money. So I only got these 2. This is Raynardine, Into the World Yarn and Fiber Co., which is intotheworld.com. It is Shokan singles, 400 yards, figure weight, superwash, merino. And it's just so pretty. It's got browns, grays, slate gray, blue, blacks, and then of course the white cream background color or base color. So pretty. Single ply. And then I got these for a sock. This is the Peace Yarn and Love. Kestrel is the yarn. Whoop, and then I drop it. 100% superwash merino, 430 yards, 87 yards. This is Study Green. This is Peppermint Bark. And the website, peaceloveyarn.com. Together, they are going to be Christmas socks. So, little head, heels, toes, cuffs dude, and the actual sock. And it looks like there might be blue and orange in here, but I think together it'll definitely lend itself to looking like Christmas. Okay, so I was super excited to see Miss Babs, her yarn. I spent a couple weeks traveling trying to find a yarn store that had or carried Miss Babs. I found one, but they only had a couple colors. I did purchase it. It's Zombie Games. It's back there. Haven't knit with it. But I really, this is where I kind of I didn't blow the budget. I turned this into a gift to myself for having gotten Employee of the Month. So I purchased the gradient set, in her set of 6 yummy 2-ply toes, which is 100% superwash merino. I purchased a lot of 100% superwash merino. Fingering weight, it's a total of 798 yards, and it is in the emballry? Amba? Ooh, Amba is a Great Barrier Reef. I'm just gonna call it Great Barrier Reef. Hand dyed in Mountain City, Tennessee, and of course the website is missbabs.com. I love this. I saw a sample knit up with these colors, and it is Lizard, Badera, Heron, which I feel like a lot of these look pretty similar, Keppel, Coral Code, and Dusk, which is super, super, super dark of the. This is not a black. And then to coordinate with it, I also purchased her Yummy 2-ply and fingering, which is 400 yards, in this gray color, which is Fleur de Sel. And this is gonna be an On the Spice Market shawl. I bought this with a specific pattern in mind for this, not just, oh, it's gonna be a shawl. And then the gift to myself was this. Oh, did the color just, no, that's, okay. So this is a set of 7 skeins of the Yummy 2-ply, special edition 110. And it is blues and purples. Clearly that's like my color scheme. Purple is my favorite color. And we have Clematis Zombie Games. I already have this color. Whatever. I like it. So Zombie Games, Sea Teal, which I actually flipped. I switched out. I was holding up 2 of these packs, and this was like a royal blue. I don't like royal blue, like primary blue. I don't really like that color. I don't wear it like ever. So I switched. She's like, oh well, we can switch this if you want one skein. If there's one you just don't like and you want to switch it out, we can do that. And I was like, yes, I don't like this one right there. So I switched it out with Sea Teal. This next one is called Across the Universe. So it's the one that's like right below my nose. This next one is called Orchid, the really nice purple color. This blue and black one is Chrysocolla. And then the last one is called Sea Life. This is a Find Your Fade set. Am I gonna knit the Find Your Fade? No, I'm not. What I did think of doing was the one, it's not called Find Your Fade, but I was really liking the cardigan fade, and I was thinking of doing that with some of these colors. So like maybe these 3 and then getting maybe a different purple or something to fade with these. I thought that would look really nice or something like that, but I just really liked all these colors, so I went with this as the gift to myself. Oh, and Miss Babs also attached a little tiny stitch marker. Yes, that is my haul. Just imagine trying to fit that in a suitcase. It's a good thing I'm allowed to have 2 suitcases for free. Benefit of traveling. Okay, so that is Smaug's Trove. Smaug's Trove is officially like overdosing. I don't have space to put this in my shelf, which I think was a 2017 goal, to be able to put all my yarn in there. I'm terrible. Whatever. I'm done buying yarn for the rest of the year. I need to be done. Because I also purchased Kristen of Woolenvine. She has a yarn club for is it November, December, and January? I think so, because I know it was into January. And it is for A Court of Thorns and Roses, which, funny story, back when she was still listening to the School of Witchery, shoot, what is that book? So back when Kristen was reading A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkins, and she was enjoying it, and then she kind of didn't really enjoy the last ones, and she was asking for suggestions for what she should read. I was like, A Court of Thorns and Roses, that's what you should read. And I need to get better, but I don't do a lot of commenting on posts and things like that. So I didn't comment it, and then what do you know, she picks it up and she really, really likes it, which is awesome because I'm a huge fan of that series. And so she made a yarn club based on it. She also has two colorways, Freya and Resand, so I might pick those up just because fandoms, you know, they sell. It's hard to catch one of her updates, and it's very stressful because you can't keep, like, you can't really browse and whatever, but hey, it's good for her. It means, you know, she's doing really good. So this leads me into my last segment, which is called A Novel Idea, where I recommend a book. I hope I haven't recommended this book yet. I need to start keeping track of what I recommended. But this is Ink and Bone from the Great Library series by Rachel Kane. And here is a picture of the cover. The third book in the series just recently came out last month, I believe. And I'm a big fan. Now, I'm not so much of a big fan of Rachel Kane's other books. Her most notable is the Morganville Vampires. I was never a big fan of the whole paranormal romance thing that happened when I was in high school and college, or it was more so high school. It destroyed, Walden Books was my bookstore. It destroyed Walden Books' teen section. Like, all of a sudden, instead of all these awesome books, it was just everything was black, everything was paranormal romance. It kind of sucked. So I'm not a huge fan of her other series, but that one, big fan. The first one I read as an actual book. The second one I read as a Kindle ebook version. And the ebook one had the same font and stylings as the printed book, which was really nice because the printed book has its actual narrative, and then between each chapters, someone's arguing outside. Sorry. So you've got the main narrative, and then in between each chapter, there's like a little page of stuff that's happening in the background, not to our main character. It sounds better than the way I'm explaining it. And it's oddly enough, the margins are much smaller. So even though the book's only 300-some pages, it feels like it's much longer because of the margins. In a nutshell, essentially the Great Library of Alexandria was not burned down, and books are sacred, and everyone has like tablets or e-readers, so no one reads actual physical books. It's all copies of the book, and they are like, the main character is with a group of other people that are being trained to be librarians, but being a librarian is like a way bloodier job than what it means in our world. So I did not think I would like it as much, but it's a book about books. It's great. I really recommend it. Definitely go check it out. I mean, I read the second one on an ebook, so there are e-versions of it if that's easier for you. And my library has several copies, and it's not like I have a giant library system, so I think it's not that hard to get. Should I talk about other things before we leave? I see my battery light is flashing. And my tea's cold. Great. Rhinebeck was awesome. We got popcorn. We walked around a lot. New York was great. I had like several things that I wanted to do, but just, you can't get it done. We went to a donut place, which was called Donut Plant. So good. I bought like almost every single donut that they had because I thought it would just be fun to try all of them. We ate them in Central Park. We saw Imagine. We saw the hotel where John Lennon was shot. I've been there before. I've seen both Imagine and the hotel. We went shopping. We just went to the shops and looked around. We ate Korean barbecue, which was awesome. I love Korean barbecue. It was so good, but they cooked it for us. So you had your, you know, your hot pot area and then the food, and then they cooked it for us instead of us cooking it, which is the other experiences of Korean barbecue that I've had. We cooked it ourselves. So that was kind of weird because I felt kind of rushed to eat my food. But that was really good. Ooh, awkward story about that place. So the group next to us, because it's like a long table, so you're kind of sharing the same table, but there's a little bit of separation. The group next to us, I'm not paying attention to them at all, but apparently my mom and my friend are, because their conversation was like stories about sex and abuse and I don't know what. And then they get up really quickly randomly. And I knew they were having conversations, but I just wasn't paying attention. But I paid attention to the party because they all went to the bathroom. All three of them went to the single-use bathroom. And, you know, I see it happen and I'm like, okay. And, you know, we're eating and we're still eating. And I would say it's probably 10-15 minutes. And I see this boy, yeah, I think it was a bus boy, because maybe someone complained about it, I don't know, but he goes to open the door, and I don't think they locked the door, because he opens it, and I'm right there, I can see his face, he's just like, and then they all walk out of the bathroom, like they all walk back out, and he like turns, I guess there was another busboy right next to him, and they're like laughing, and I can hear like, I can't believe that, I can't believe that. And my mom and Andrea, then they start talking about the group, and they're like, it was so strange. I was like, you want to know what's even stranger? All of them just came out of the bathroom and they left that table about 10-15 minutes ago. Interesting. New York. No, I'm nothing against threesomes, but not if you're using the only bathroom available in this restaurant. That's just inconsiderate. And that is not the first time that I knew people were having sex in a bathroom. I walked into it before at a bar, and like, it wasn't even embarrassing. I just could not hold my laughter. It was so ridiculous. Story for another time. Walked around New York. I really wanted to go to the Tim Burton bar. So my friend and I, we walked all the way there. It was about 45-minute walk. And according to Google, they were open. We get there, they were not open. So yep, we walked an hour and a half for a bar that was closed. Because we were gonna walk there and then Uber back. But we stopped and got pizza, which was great. Yeah, drove up to Rhinebeck. We did Saturday and Sunday there. We stayed in Poughkeepsie and we went to a really neat Mexican restaurant that had like Mexican food, but they are also, that had to be like a subcategory of Mexican because there were certain things on there that you just don't see very often at authentic Mexican restaurants. So I think it was some sort of subcategory of Mexican, it was really good. And then Sunday we flew home and it was super exhausting to be back at work on Monday.